Hello and welcome to the home of the Khajiits. Today, I, Jacob Hugo the Strategy, will be talking about another news article I found, and this one is about should smacking your child be illegal? Okay, so this one is a little odd, I will admit. It's just, I saw it, it stood out to me, and I want to talk about it and how I feel about it, because so the main debate here is smacking a child abuse, and it's really not. And here in the UK, we have this policy as where you can't leave a mark on your child, or otherwise that would be child abuse because you're hitting them too hard and it's not reasonable punishment. But everyone wants to get rid of that entirely. Okay, so I wasn't a kid who got hit a lot because I never really needed to, because I learned like the lesson that I was supposed to, because I always gave into authority. I kept getting shouted at. That was enough for me, and I feel like I'm a small majority of people who are like that. Small majority, no, I feel like people like that were a majority when I was a kid, or like among kids in general. So what I want to know is why they think this is necessary, because it's already reasonable punishment if your child's not getting a mark left on them. And then it's like, okay, do you realize how hard, like, you would have to hit somebody to not leave a mark, like a child to an adult to a child? That's pretty light. It's not even that hard, to be honest. A child could take that easily. But anyway, that's what we're not getting. We're kind of getting off track here. Well, we're talking about the same thing, but I just want to talk about the article real quick and what the content says. And it's just saying, like, it said about the child thing where if you leave a mark, then it is considered child abuse and it is illegal to do that. But then it's just talking about getting rid of it entirely, and I don't think that's necessary, because I feel like that's how a lot of children learn their lesson. And there's a part in here that say that like 5-10 minutes after you hit your child, and then they go back to being their old annoying self. But what I feel like that is because they didn't do it again, because they probably just done it once a day, and then they done it like one time a day, and then 10 minutes after it's fine. So then they'll do it tomorrow because the kid's being annoying again, and then it's just like, oh, I'll hit you again, I guess. But then they don't do it more than probably once or twice that day. So I feel like they're not learning a lesson because it's not being carried out a lot, because the parents have a lot of shit to do, and doing that to a child is not what they want to be like doing above everything else they could be doing that day. So I understand that, but like, if it does help, doesn't help. I feel like it is kind of therapeutic for the parents as well, to be honest, because I've known some kids where I've just wanted to fucking smack them silly because they are so annoying, they don't learn their lesson. But obviously I haven't, because that's messed up, and dude, I'm not gonna fucking I'm not gonna go crazy on a child, just start hitting them out in the middle of the street for no reason. But anyway, and I'm just talking about other people's children here that I have had to interact with, and then they were annoying as fuck. But I don't know, dude. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on it. That is more for the parents at this point, because if they're not able to just keep going back and hitting their child, then they're not gonna learn a lesson. But then the parents are just like, they don't start being passive aggressive. They just take all that aggression out, and then they're fine, which isn't something that most people think a parent should be doing, or like a parent should do in general. But I feel like, because we're all human, and despite what a lot of people think, like, when people grow up, it's kind of nothing really changes. Like, you have more responsibilities for sure, but your personality can just stay really the same. That's why a lot of kids complain about their parents having, like, acting like they're younger, or like a young person, because that's how they see a young person. They don't think they should be seeing their parent like that, someone who's dishing out the rules, and has to enforce those rules. And a lot of people don't see how an adult could not be acting like an adult, but how do you act like an adult, to be honest? But again, I'm digressing here. And back to the whole smacking your child thing. I feel like it's just perfectly fine the way it is. I don't feel like it has to be changed in any way, because there's really, I don't understand why it would have to be changed. And like, in this article they give some examples of countries that have completely banned it, and it says most countries have, or numerous other countries, but it lists like 3, and they're all in Europe. So why don't they go out of Europe and see what other countries have done that? Because I bet you any money that a lot of countries rely on that for disciplinary measures, you know. Because I know that if I was a kid, if I was a kid, because I was a kid once, and I feel like if I got hit, then I would have learnt my lesson. Because like, I didn't like pain, dude. Pain, I had such low pain threshold as a child. It's a lot higher now, because, you know, I've had to deal with a lot of shit. But like, when I was a lot younger, it was so low. Like, even a little nick could fucking make me cry, because it's like, what, I don't want to sound like a, you know, wimp or whatever, but I just abhorred pain when I was young. It was just so hard to deal with for me. I don't know why. I feel like it shouldn't have been that hard, but it was. And yeah, so definitely for me, I would have learnt my lesson, to be honest. And then if I got annoying again, then I'd learn it again, you know. But I wouldn't be like within it for like 10 minutes. Another thing I'm talking about is like, okay, so there's people who will hit their kids. Like, I'm going on to more domestic abuse kind of thing. I don't really want to, but I'm gonna go there because it's a thing in some cases. But there's some cases where there's domestic abuse, and where the parent would hit the kid, and it wouldn't really, the kid wouldn't done anything to really warrant the sudden aggro. But the parent's just mad or drunk or whatever, and obviously that should be completely illegal. But like, how do you define one case from another? Another thing goes back, and that goes back to, does it leave a mark? Because if it leaves a mark, then it obviously hurt enough to be able to scar the, not scar, but like affect the child physically. And obviously that is completely terrible, and it shouldn't happen, obviously. But I don't know. So I feel like things are completely fine the way they are. It does not, because there's been so many talks of this. It's never gone through. Do you know why it's never gone through? Because it's unreasonable, in my opinion. Okay, so I learned my lesson by just getting shouted at and not getting hit. But like, I know there's a crazy ton of children who don't learn it like that. I don't know what was wrong with me. I say. I don't know what was with me where I wouldn't really go off on one. But like, I feel like more children should have been like how I was, to be honest. Not trying to big myself up or anything, but I have no idea what I'm saying. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, because I have no idea what else to add to this conversation. I'll see you guys in the next video I make. Bye.